So, um, I haven't done anything in a minute. I don't know how long because I don't care. Um, these are these are the realities of working jobs. I'm working a job, so I'm not paying attention to this as much. That's to be expected. I'm watching a Christopher Sedaris video, and it made me think of something that I wanted to share. Um, he's doing a reaction to a video of someone that does astral projection and active dreaming, is what I will call it. Um, and the thing is, like, the concept of dreams, I don't really subscribe to that. What we all view as dreams, that's not what that is, dude. Like, if you don't see the little minute differences in a dream versus whatever the fuck, like, weird manipulation happens at some points, um maybe you're having a different experience. I'm not gonna like shame or throw rocks at those that are not having the same experience as others, but there are many that have a different experience. There are many that have different types of phenomena that happen when they sleep. I've been reading about it. There are some that have astral projections, quote unquote. There are some that have what seems to be doping, like being lulled into a specific experience when they sleep. And that specific experience has been um, given the moniker of dreaming. Because if you think about it, if there are those that can active dream or astral project, or they are very, very cognizant within their dreams and can make decisions, what are the people doing that aren't doing that? What is that experience? If you're just watching a movie, if you're being controlled, let's call it that. If you're being controlled within a dream experience, but there are others that are making the decisions in their dreams, don't isn't that a difference, right? Like, isn't there a difference within those things? I think about that a lot because even myself, when I have dreams, I have different types of dreams. Sometimes I can, like, kind of wake up in my dream and be like, oh, I'm asleep and this is not real. And then I can do a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Um, there are other times when I do that, but I don't really have the capability of like changing or doing anything about it. It's like I realize what it is, but like I can't, I try, or I realize. It's not really trying, it's just realizing. Once I realize, I can either, take over the capability of making decisions and steering the experience, or I wake up and realize this is a quote unquote dream, but like I'm being guided. Like I am not able to really do too much about what the dream does or what the dream like shows me, because it's almost like there's a specific guide or like a specific program, if you would, as far as like what is to be shown in this thing, right? So it's like do people think about these things, or do people view all of these things as just dreams? I think about that a lot because when you sleep, think about the concept of beings and programming. When you sleep, that is the most opportune time to like input things into your being, into your consciousness. And I think about that quite a bit. So like anytime I go to sleep, it's really cool. I'm actually kind of happy about it because like anytime I go to sleep, once the programs start, once the things start happening, whatever you want to call those, dreams, programs, whatever, this is me. I'm just sitting there like this isn't real for whatever the fuck that means, you know? And I'm very conscious of that. So like at the times when people are usually capable of being manipulated or quote unquote programmed or um, whatever you want to call that, from my perspective, from my vantage, it's manipulation from a very very specifically like objective definition, but you could call that many things. um, I'm very skeptical. I'm immediately aware that I am asleep and that I am experiencing a thing. I don't know what to call that thing. I don't know what to view that thing as. Uh, um, I don't know what to ascribe that to. Really, it's just a thing that happens when I lose consciousness as I know it. You know, so realistically, um, I'm just kind of like watching a movie. That's what I view it as when I go to sleep. When I go to sleep and then new experiences start, unless I'm very aware, and that's the thing is like I can. The one thing that I'm very happy for is that I can kind of tell the difference between experiencing something different and watching a movie when I'm asleep. Asleep. Like it's it's the one thing that I think I have found to be very necessary and like important when I fall asleep is is this a movie? Is this an experience? If it's an experience, then like let me try to my best to figure out what the fuck is going on right now, because obviously I am a passenger. I'm not controlling this, which that in itself is an indication of weirdness. If I'm being I'm supposed to be a sovereign being, but something or some other being is trying to control the experience that I am having when I'm sleeping. Just that in itself is an important detail for what is happening when I sleep, right? And it's not to say that it doesn't have to do with the many, many different frequencies that are enveloping us at all times, including when we sleep. But I have noticed, and others have noticed, that sometimes you go to sleep, and you have one type of experience where you have a different type of sovereignty when you are seeing and experiencing things when you sleep. And then there are other times where it's like you have very little agency. You're a passenger. You're being shown things. You're being put in very specific situations. You still have the capability of active dreaming or astral projection, as some people like to call it. It's fucking dumb to me. But you still have the capability of making decisions and actively moving your being or body, as some of us like to refer to it sometimes. But like That's very specifically important because if you're dreaming or if you're experiencing things when you are unconscious in this place, then what you decide to interpret, what you decide to um, respond with, those are both unimportant and important things at the same time, if that makes sense. Because you could view it as just a dream, or you could view it as like a thing that is being thrust upon you, and no one can tell you what that is. You either decide what that is or you don't. Um, so I thought that was interesting. And this dude, this is a fucking 2 hour and 30-minute video. I'm 13 minutes in. I don't know what's going to be said in this. He's reacting to someone else's shit. I'm becoming, that's kind of funny that I'm becoming the person that's reacting to a reaction. Lame. Anyway, I do think, though, that many people are trying to tell others very definitive answers to what this is or what we're doing or what this experience is. And I don't find that to be helpful because, like, you can't tell me what this is because you don't know. That is definitive for me. You can't tell me what this is. You can't tell me what we're doing here. You can't tell me what happens when we're sleeping. You can't tell me anything because you don't know. There's like a false sense of like security in those that are like, okay, so I know this is true, but this we're still figuring out. Or I know space is real, but like, what is space? What's out there? What are we doing out there? Like, no one knows anything. That is the fundamental rule within my studies. No one knows anything, but everyone needs to feel like they know things. And that's something that I've consistently found and have been also consistently trying to become comfortable with. We don't know shit. We don't know shit. No one knows anything. If you are praising a specific entity or person, that's coping. You're coping. It doesn't matter if it's a philosopher or a physicist or a god or a deity. If you're praising something to make it through this, you are coping. That's just how I feel about it. And I'm not trying to argue with anybody about that. I'm not trying to enforce that or impress that upon anybody. That's how I feel. If you're praising or worshiping or, becoming obsessive about someone else's views or rules upon this weird place, that's you're coping. I I have no interest in coping. Um, this is a weird experience, and I'm not going to cope with that. I'm not going to make it feel or seem better than it is. It fucking is weird, and it sucks sometimes. Other times it doesn't suck. Other times it's like kind of cool. But I'm gonna experience that, and it's not in a like love and light kind of like, oh, this is an experience I chose. It's not any of that. It's just like, dude, I don't want to be delusional. That's that's the brass tacks of it. I don't want to be delusional and like lull myself into some sort of weird sleep or altered consciousness to get through this. Sometimes it sucks, sometimes it does not suck. That doesn't seem that difficult to me, so that's fine. I don't love it, and I wouldn't choose it actively if someone gave me that choice, but I wasn't given that choice. I am here. I am here. This is what this is. So you navigate that, right? And I don't feel like that's a very difficult like position to hold but many are uncomfortable with that, so they will attack you. Many find that to be negative, so they will attack you. Many find that to be offensive because they hold certain beliefs, so they will attack you. Whatever, dude. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You don't need to care about my opinion on what this place is or what this experience is. If you find it offensive, I'm sorry. But I'm actually not, though. Fuck you. You know what I mean? So it is interesting to me, though. One of the main capabilities to look into what this place is looking into what it is not, if that makes sense. When you are asleep, what happens? When you experience things in your sleep, what happens? Right? And the reason for that is because you are no longer in control. You are no longer an active experiencer within that experience. That's interesting to me. What happens in your dreams, it's that the if you're not getting what I'm saying, the concept of a dream, that's just a word. Like, what if that's a different thing than you understand it to be? Dreams. What if your interpretation of what happens when you are asleep, even that is just a word, is different than what is actually happening? There are parts of it that are very objective. When you go to sleep, your body shuts down. You are at a different frequency than you are when you are awake. That's objective, understandable. But the concept of dreaming, the concept of astral projection, all these things that we talk about when we are at a lower consciousness during rest times, we don't know what the fuck that is, dude. We just tell each other we do. And you can attack me and be upset about that, but that is the truth. We don't know what sleep is. We don't know what dreams are. These are all words that we ascribe to things that we don't fully understand, and we have doctors and experts that tell us things, and we accept it because we need to feel, as a society, we need to feel that comfort, because it feels much better to understand something than to not understand something. Once everyone realizes that much of what we ascribe to being understanding is actually just conjecture, we'll be in a better spot. It will feel much more chaotic, you know, transparently, but we're lying to ourselves about many aspects of existence. That's not good, dude. That's not a good thing. It just allows you to be manipulated. That's what that is. It allows you to be manipulated, and that fucking sucks. I don't want to be manipulated, so I'm very actively looking into things and like studying things and trying to like ask questions and find answers. And it's there are many that are doing the same thing, but I would be remiss if I didn't say like many people latch on to things that feel comfortable so that they can feel comfort, like, and I get that. You want to be comforted, you want to feel like this doesn't suck, you want to feel like whatever, but it does kind of suck. If you're honest with yourself, even if you're not going through shitty things, you're not an idiot. You see shitty things happening to other people many times within your vantage, within your life. So if your life is going just great, you very likely have others that are dealing with things that are shitty or suck. So it's not to say that life sucks and that's the entirety of it and there's no goodness, as I see many people do that are on these same like paths looking into what this place is, what this existence is. I don't think that that's helpful. It's not to say that this is all sucky and it's terrible, but to ignore the negative aspects of it is also dumb. To become blind to the parts of it that are not cool, you know what I mean, for lack of a more intelligent uh, prescription for what it is. Like, it is stupid. It does hurt at times. There are other times where it doesn't hurt and doesn't feel stupid because solely you're not hurting. It's still stupid though in the times when you are not hurting. That's, more of an intellectual view of it, I guess, more like a pessimistic view of it, but like, okay, I guess pessimism is not a negative thing from my perspective, and like, it's more of a grand view, like a grand vantage of why the fuck are we here? Like, what is this for? Right? Um, and that's not an agnostic view. It's not a atheistic view. I very much believe that there is a God. I very much believe that there is a being that we come from. I just also believe that the beings that are here, we all share very similar characteristics. When you see people in the wild on this, place, on this realm or whatever, this is a very, for lack of a better word, capitalistic experience. So, like, if someone can come up with ways of explaining this place that bring them monetary gain or like power, they do it. It's instinctive. Many fight that instinct, but most do not. So, the religious belief systems, I guess I'll call it, the religious sects that are here, the ones that are most popular, the big three or whatever, that's all personal gain and subjugation. And then those that are not a part of that, still personal gain and fucking subjugation, cults. So like, does it benefit any of us to try to like group up in that sense? You know, I've been thinking about so much of this stuff, and it's just like very eye opening personally, just for me. And I share it because I think it could be helpful for others, but like, I don't want you to join me, dude. I don't want to go to a place and us like share a place. There are so many people that are trying to do that, and I think that's fucking weird because there are instincts that are built into whatever we are, and they're very hard to escape. So if there's someone trying to get you to come to a place and be a part of their commune or their collective or whatever the fuck, don't do that. You know, they're not doing that because they just feel it's best. They're doing that because there's some weird, like, they need connection because of some shit that happened to them as a younger being, or they need others to like listen to what they say so they can feel important. I don't know. There's a bunch of different possibilities there, but like, find peace within yourself. Find peace within yourself, and then this just becomes like a waiting game essentially. You're just doing the thing until the thing is done. And you can find peace in that. That sounds very bleak, but realistically, it's fucking bleak. I don't know what to fucking tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to make it better or worse for you. I'm just trying to find truth. I'm trying to find truth, and this is the truth that I have found. And it's been that truth for a significant amount of time, and that's okay. You can, improve or alchemize that, but like in the end, even when you find the gold, when you transmute into the philosopher's stone and all the shit that you find within these pursuits, it's still just this. It's still just this, you know? So you can either become comfortable with that and become patient and realize like this isn't going to last forever. This is strange, but it's just gonna be strange. I can't do anything about it. Or you can suffer the entire time and be upset and angry or very strangely happy and like delusional or whatever. You can not be present and be delusional in one way or the other, in one extreme or the other. And I'm choosing to not do that. I see what this is, although I don't know what this is, right? And I have a firm grasp on what I believe it to be, but I am also very aware that I have no fucking clue. But the thing that I find as a one up, or not a one up, the thing I view as like a leg up, I'll call it, is that I am very aware that I don't know what this is and that no one else here knows what this is. Even those that are in like secret societies and all the stuff that people love to talk about in conspiracy circles, you don't fucking know either, dude. You don't know. And you would like for others to believe that you know, but you don't. And that's fine. But it's also goofy for you to pretend that you know. For you to, for instance, charge people for readings or charge people to for the secrets, for the knowledge, for the secret knowledge. That's lame. You're lame for that. And you know that you are and you feel guilt for it. You know? I'm just being real about all of it. I don't know what this is. I have an idea of what I think it is, and I feel like I'm actually kind of close to the truth or whatever. But in reality, I don't fucking know. I could go to another part, also known as death, and then it could be something completely different than what I think it is. And I'm okay with that because I don't fucking have control over it. I never did. I don't think I will, at least while I'm in this part of it. But maybe in the next part of it, I have more control. I don't know. Maybe I won't. But like, that is the only thing that I have found in years and years of studying is that I didn't will myself into this. I'm not going to will myself into the next aspect of this. Even the thing that people view as astral projection or active dreaming or whatever you want to call it, you're not in control there. You're stepping into like a simulated thing that you didn't create. That's not active. It's not, it is the same thing as this, but with different parameters, you know? And I know that that is an uncomfortable realization or feeling, but like that is the truth though. You know what I mean? You're just like you're walking through a door to another room. That's all it is. You didn't build that room. You don't have control over the aspects or physics of that room. It's just a different fucking room. This may come off as very like pessimistic or negative, but like to me, pessimism is not negative. It's just being real with yourself and others. So I wanted to share those thoughts. I don't want anyone to be negatively affected or upset by the things that I'm saying, but I do think that they're helpful. If you get past the like negative feeling aspects of the things I'm saying, they're very freeing. You know, they're very freeing and can be very helpful in the sense of like not lulling yourself more and more into a sleep where you can be manipulated, because that is one thing I'll say for sure is that this place is all manipulation. This whatever this is very heavily focused on manipulating those that are here for some reason. I don't know what that reason is, but I do know that the manipulation is a very key point. It is a very upfront I need to manipulate you type of place. So I'm not cool with that. And that is the one thing that I've worked on not being into. I don't have answers for anything at all, but I do know that I'm not being manipulated as much as I can help it. So, whatever that affords me in the next experience, cool. Or maybe it won't afford me shit, right? Like, have we considered that? Have we considered that, you know, that it's gonna be the same shit? That would be fucking, that's not funny. I'm sorry. But it is kind of funny, though. I'm gonna go because I'm probably bumming people out. But I love you conditionally. I was gonna say unconditionally, but it is conditional. If you're trying to manipulate stuff and people and you buy into things wholeheartedly and completely, I'm not really a fan of that. So conditionally, I love you conditionally. I do still love the people that are doing that, but it's because they suck. Um, I'm trying to keep up with putting stuff on the channel, but I am also now working a job where I supervise people, and that sucks, kind of. So I'll do that sometimes, you know? Okay, bye.